Welcome back to the 3 packs a day experiment. This is day number 16. We've had a couple rainy days, so I haven't flown exactly. It's raining. What do you want me to do? Fly in the simulator or fly a tiny whoop? Anyway, let's just do it. Today, I want to show you the effect of an ND filter. We were talking about ND filters on my live stream, neutral density filters, sometimes also known as jello killers. So I'm going to fly this first pack with no ND filter on the camera, and then I'm going to swap it out and put an ND filter on, and you'll be able to see the difference. And to double your money, double your value. You get some flying and you get some freaking ND. So let's fly. So what we're going to work in this one, in a previous video I pointed out that a rewind was a good way to bail out of a failed split S. What's a rewind? A rewind is where you enter a move and then sort of exit out of it as if you had just like reversed it. When you do it right, people think you rewound the video. So let me try again. We're going to come in with kind of like a hook here, and then we're going to come out with like a rewind to the exact same move. And that's what I'm going to work on today. And the trick with a rewind is, like, I'm going to show you the stick overlay, but the trick with a rewind is not so much like what you do with the sticks, but also the timing. Because, like, if I just do one here, I have to catch the quad's momentum. Like, you can't literally just reverse most moves, especially compound moves that have, like, both. It would be hard to like exactly reverse it. So you kind of have to catch the quad at just the right moment to come out and make it look like you did a perfect rewind. See, that was a little too much forward. I got a dead battery actually. This is not pack number 1. This is, we won't call this pack number 1 officially. Let's bring it back in. Let's put a fresh battery on. Now I've introduced the concept, and we'll try some more. Who says freestyle pilots can't land? So this is really pack number 1. Okay, so let's work on some rewinds. How to enter the rewind. I've been kind of doing like a little fishhook move, but you can see that was not very clean stop, was it? That was better. That felt a little better to me. Got to give it a little more of a punch, I think. See, there I just rolled. I think the move looks better when you kind of combine roll and pitch. And I almost think of it looking like a fish hook. Just a little slide forward there, not a clean stop. Yeah. See, I'm just kind of rolling and then punching. That's not, I kind of want to, I don't want to just kind of go like that. So if you yaw out of it, you just end up going the same direction. It's not really anything. I could be doing this on a smaller tree. It is nice to have something to drop down off of. Your up tilt is going to severely affect how this works for you, because it affects how easy it is for you to stop short without having to like pitch back. The more up tilt you have, the more you kind of have to pitch back and flatten out than to punch off of it, feels like. That felt good. That was a nice little pop. A nice, clean, smooth stop with no drifting motion. Yeah. That was bad. One of the things I'm noticing is that I kind of have to just keep twisting until I hit that vector. If I punch too early, I will push myself forward. Watch. See, I just push myself forward there. I have to keep twisting until I reach the point where hitting the throttle will stop me. And that's where you punch off. And I think that one of the keys to doing the rewind, Johnny is certainly one of the masters of the rewind. One of the keys to doing it is finding that spot where when you hit the throttle, you will come off at exactly the right angle. You can't assume that if you hit the throttle, you'll go exactly the opposite direction from the direction you came in. So if I hit too early, I'm pitched forward and I just punch out of it, see? I don't punch straight back the direction I came. I need to continue pitching back. And I think it's the pitch back that does it, because the pitch back is going to negate your up tilt. So normally you're pitched forward, and if you hit the throttle, you go forward. I got to bring it in and change batteries here. Yeah, I could fly a little more. So you got to pitch back as you roll until you negate your up tilt, and then you can rewind. So that was not a straight rewind, but it could have been interesting. All right, bring it in, 3.5. We're done. 4 minutes, not bad, with a GoPro. Of course, I did run down to 3.5, so. Okay, this is still without the ND filter. I'll do my last pack with the ND filter on. How can we make this more interesting? See, I just rolled out of that and flew out of it. That didn't even stop. That was bad. It's pretty sloppy. Can you just do it on the ground? Like, whatever angle you come in, you just have to come out at that same angle and try and find the way, the controls that make it happen. But it kind of feels like cheating when you just do it in a field, because, you know, you could just, whatever, just keep going if you felt like it. You really got to get on the throttle to make the arrest just sharp as heck. I think if you're more, prop wash. I think if you have a lightweight quad, it works better, because you stop sooner. So I think you can also, I'm kind of coming down on top, but I also like that, when you look like you're about to go into the tree. See there, I don't think there's any way to avoid descending though. If you come into it going downward and angled like I was, I don't see how you could avoid coming. You'd have to pitch back to go up, and you wouldn't come out. I don't like the sight line on that. Oh gosh, I'm really gonna put it in the tree. I'm really waiting for the last minute when I see the tree come in. Now, can you do it from underneath? Huh. Like, could you do... No, because gravity doesn't work. Physics doesn't work that way. You can only thrust up. Unless you had 3D mode, you couldn't do it from underneath. So from underneath, you can do like that, but you can't reverse. You could not... Because, yeah, no. You would need 3D mode, because you would have to go and reverse your thrust up. The other thing I wonder is it better if you leave the throttle up a little bit coming into it? Or is it better if you lower the throttle all the way? The motors will respond quicker if you don't lower the throttle all the way. All right. Oh gosh, my OSD has frozen up and I'm killing my battery. Yeah. Thanks, DJI. All right, so now we've got the ND filter on here, and while we're standing still, you probably can't notice much difference. But here, actually, I can make it really obvious how much difference there is. Watch my fingers. Watch my hand. Okay. Now, I'm just gonna take this off. Here it is. It actually just sticks right on front of the GoPro lens protector. This is why the GoPro 7 is the best for FPV. Watch this. You see a difference? Yeah, so you see how much smoother my hand and my motion is? Now watch what a difference that's gonna make while I'm flying. I'm tempted to go, well, I'm just gonna rip this pack, but I don't feel like I made a lot of improvement on my rewinds. So in the spirit of the 3 packs a day experiment, I am going to continue to work rewinds. And I think the number one thing I can do at this point to make it better is to really pop the throttle and get a smooth stop. Too much sliding forwards. That was not a rewind. I exited on the wrong line, a different line than I entered. I'm really trying to pop it. See, that is almost looking like something cool, but not a rewind. Kind of a flip out like that. That's kind of cool. You really got to punch the throttle. At least on a quad with this kind of weight and power. Interesting. Yeah, that's more like it. That throttle response is more like it. Nope, bad. My timing between my thrust and my pitch was not right there. I came to, yeah, it was just off. It feels like the entry is smoother when I leave the throttle up just a little. It also feels like I'm doing better. I'm like yawing into it more when I go to the... I feel like I'm better when I go to the right than to the left. Like I'm yawing into it more, so I end up facing backwards, I guess. That feels like kind of a little decent. But on this one, I think I'm not yawing into it as much, and so I'm kind of just doing this. I'm just kind of rolling through, and I don't turn to face backward, and I can't change direction. Oh, maybe not as much pitch back either. There's a little more pitch back on that one, and it flattened out a little. I'm trying to exaggerate yaw and pitch on those right rolling ones. On the left rolling ones, it feels... See, going left is always easier, isn't it? Oh, yeah. And then the other thing that's tempting is to accidentally turn it into a Matty flip. So you come out, and you kind of Matty underneath and go back into the obstacle. But I'm not sure. I mean, that could be cool too. But in this case, I wouldn't want to end up back in the tree. Ah, phooey. Come on, baby. Oh, yeah. Now, I just mowed. Let's see if I can get back in the air. That's why I mow. To keep the grass short enough to be able to... Okay, I'm going to do one more pack, and here's what I'm going to do. I'm going to exclusively fly that tree. The song is Daydream, Slow Magic, Julianne Hope. Now I am playing music. I don't know if you'll hear the music depending on the copyright status of the music, but let's do this. Now probably gonna just crash, right? Don't want to end up in the power lines. We need to slow down a little. That was nice. Lots of left turns, son. Don't end up in the tree. See, I like to roll left and yaw right, don't I? Don't roll left. Oh my God, I popped off to the left. What's on my lens? Oh, what a great way to end, right on the beat too. That was a really fun exercise. I feel like a lot of it was like kind of crappy and repetitive, and I wouldn't put it in a freestyle edit, but that's kind of not the point of these things. One more thing, the sun has gone behind the clouds, and I want to show you, when it's cloudy, you don't need the ND filter, because the camera already stops down, or, oh shit, I dropped it. Did it break? It didn't break, thank God. The camera already slows down the shutter speed when it's cloudy. Like, right here, it's still kind of bright. You might still want a little bit of an ND, I chipped it. You might still want a little bit of an ND filter, but it's really most useful when it's really bright sunny. And if you do it too much, you get this ultra blurry effect that doesn't look good either. So they come in different gradations, ND4, ND8, ND16, and the higher the number, the more blurry it's gonna make your footage. So anyway, there's links to the ND filters that I'm using. They're called Camera Butter. There's links to those in the video description. There's a link to the quadcopter that I'm flying. I have a build video for this quadcopter if you want to build this exact quadcopter. And, you know, there's a whole bunch of other good stuff. That's going to do it for today, though. Thank you so much for watching. Happy flying. That was really fun.